In 1997, Norman Van Aken was named Best Chef Southeast by the Beard Society, and his namesake restaurant in the Miami area was named one of America's top tables in Gourmet Magazine's Reader's Poll. What he calls New World cuisine is a celebration of South Florida product, like Key West Yellowtail.
The pan-cooked filet of Key West Yellowtail is a very, very simple Key West sort of dish, and what I wanted to do there was present it with the citrus butter sauce. So I've got an orange butter that I'm going to prepare with a reduction of freshly squeezed orange juice, a little bit of champagne vinegar, some shallots, and some cracked black pepper and bay leaf. And basically what we'll do is we'll put all of these elements into a saucepan or a small saute pan for here, and we'll just reduce this down to get the flavors kind of nicely intense. Okay, for the amount of reduction we have here, we're just going to add about a half a cup of heavy cream or less. We don't want to obscure the flavors of the reduction with too much cream, but we need the liaison between the cream and the butter to hold the sauce together. We go ahead with the addition of the butter, and as ever, it's important that the butter is added just a little bit at a time, so that the butter can be incorporated without breaking.
Half a pound of butter is added and the sauce is strained. The chef prepares the yellowtail.
Okay, the yellowtail is a very delicate fish, and so it sort of needs a little protection from the heat of the pan. And one of the old ways we've done this in Key West for years was to dip it first into flour. And one thing I look for after I dip it in flour is I'll look at the fish to see if there's any scales still on it, because they'll show up a little bit better with the flour on them. They'll sort of show you themselves if you missed them before. This one's good though. And then into just a little beaten egg with a little bit of half and half. And this very golden, lacy sort of exterior later on is how the fish is presented. Back in Key West in the old days, a lot of the local people who are called conchs would eat yellowtail for breakfast. Much the way we eat steak and eggs in the Midwest, yellowtail for breakfast. One of the things I also do is when I flour the fish is I don't want too much flour on it, so I'll give it a little spank just to get the extra flour off there. Again, looking to see if there's any scales. And there's not. You can actually put the fish in the eggs like this and then cover them up 8 hours in advance if you wanted to. It's not going to be a problem for the fish. I think one of the reasons that this dish is one of the most popular dish in the restaurant is the mashed potatoes. What we've got here is a little bit of roasted garlic cloves and a little bit of heavy cream. And all we do is we just take a little bit of the heavy cream and heat them with a little garlic. And we'll set those aside. Once they're nice and warm, we'll set those aside and keep them warm in a place until we're ready to pick up the fish. I've got some potatoes which have been removed of the skins, quartered and steamed, and we keep these warm in a nice warm place, but we do not pre-mash them. Sauteing the yellowtail, it's really important that we have a hot pan, and we use clarified butter in this particular case. One of the few times I do use butter when cooking fish, but I'll show you why too. You want to put just enough butter in there to get the bottom of the pan fully coated, and you can pour back any that's not. And then you take the fish, lift it up, and take the curved side into the pan. It's important that you get that searing effect, because that really is what makes the fish lock its flavors in and gives us that kind of lacy egg coating that we want. Not enough butter will cause the fish to kind of get a little sticking, so I'm going to add just a touch more. And this butter, of course, is very hot right now, so just be careful that you don't splash any toward yourself. When I flip the fish, I'll tip the pan so the butter's away from me and come onto that side right there. Once it's seared on both sides, we'll just drain off the extra butter and go ahead and go into the oven.
The temperature of the oven is about 425 degrees. The fish is warmed for about 6 minutes.
Sometimes, I mean, a lot of people won't get yellowtail snapper, so they'll get red snapper or something like that where the fish could be thicker. So, and we like to cook this yellowtail till it's just barely done. It's not served medium rare like, say, a tuna or swordfish.
The citrus butter sauce is strained and the roasted garlic mashed potatoes are prepared.
We have our warm garlicky cream here. Just scoop that onto them. A little bit of butter, a little bit of salt, and I use sea salt or kosher salt, a little bit of freshly toasted and ground black pepper, and if you like, and we like, a little bit of white truffle oil, and just mash them up. If the texture's a little bit too loose, add a little bit more potato, and if it's too stiff, a little bit more of the garlic cream would be added. And you can use your potato masher or something like that. It doesn't really matter. So we don't like the potatoes too perfect. Some people even may want to leave the skins on. Now, to make sure that the potatoes are nice and hot, once they're mashed like that for maybe 30 seconds, I toss them back into the oven while I assemble the plate. We've done a little bit of blanched and grilled asparagus spears, which go really with the citrus butter sauce very nicely. We take the mashed potatoes, still warm from the oven now, and we'll create our belly. It's the belly of mashed potatoes. Just put them on there like this. Spoon a little bit of the butter sauce down. A little of the potatoes too. And the yellowtail, which we're going to kind of mound over those mashed potatoes to give them that nice big fat belly we're talking about. Then I'm going to garnish with a little bit of blood orange, the blood orange is the juice of which can be used in the reduction as well if you like. And then a little bit of fresh thyme. Thyme goes well with citrus. And there it is.